Hi, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we have my November TBR. This is my second time filming this video. Not because I was unsatisfied with the previous TBR, but because a few more things have come up that I want to participate in. So those two things are as follows. First, a couple days ago, Bethany with Beautifully Bookish Bethany announced this challenge that she's doing in November styled on Nanoreamo. She's calling it Nanoreamo. And she set a goal for herself, a stretch goal of 15,000 words. Obviously, we're not doing the 50,000 words of Nanoreamo. And I decided, you know what? I want to try that too. Am I a little ambitious? Yes, but if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that. Secondly, another booktuber that I follow, Abby Salter, I will link both channels down below, announced another readathon for November. She is not the original host, but she is one of the co-hosts, and that is Once Upon a Readathon. I went and I watched the original announcement and thought, I really like this. And so I decided I'm going to find books that fit each one of these steps, because you don't have to fulfill every single prompt. You just have to fulfill one per step out of the 5 to complete the readathon. And the points, you're by teams, and with the winning team is the highest number of points per reader. And you can use a book for multiple prompts, and you get the points per prompt, not per book. But obviously, I want to try a book per prompt. The thing is, the TBR that I'm setting right now is going to be just one book per prompt, because I know that books coming up for the Goodreads Choice Award list, which I'll talk about in just a moment, will fit some of these other prompts. I want to be able to complete it, but also have a bit of a challenge. The other thing that guides my TBR for this month, and it's not going to be as long, is the fact that I'm going to try to read at least 2 categories of the Goodreads Choice Award nominees, maybe 3. It depends on how many of these 2022 releases that I've actually read. So without further ado, here's my TBR. And I'm going to start off with books that don't fit the Readathon TBR. And those are books for my goals, my year-long reading goals, nonfiction and ARCs. So first with nonfiction, I am keeping the books that I pulled from my nonfiction cup the first time that I filmed this video. Those are With or Without Me. This is an ARC. It's a memoir where the author is describing her sister's experience with something, not describing the sister's experience, but how that affected their relationship. I don't know that much about it, which is hence the not so detailed synopsis. The other one, I could have put this off the TBR, but now I really want to read it. That is Empire of Pain by Patrick Radden Keefe. I'm really intrigued by this book. It's a biography of the family behind the pharmaceutical company that first started the opioid crisis. So there's probably going to be a lot of anger-inducing things in here, and hopefully a lot to learn. The 2 ARCs are both nonfiction, and I was going to try to stay away from nonfiction, but I am interested in both. And I know that at least one of them will read very quickly, and that is Fly. It is a graphic memoir, which has seemed to be my thing this year. So that's the one I know will read quickly. And the other one is Solito. I'm really intrigued with this. I actually saw this at the bookstore a few weeks ago when I was going to buy the book, but I successfully kept myself from buying it because I told myself, Jen, you have the ARC for this. You can read it. So those are the books that fit my goals, but not the Readathon or the Goodreads Choice Awards goal that I'm setting for myself. Now for the books that fit the Readathon, Once Upon a Readathon. I forget the details about why these are related to apples, but all of these steps have something to do with apples. So the first step is research the history of the apple tree. For that, I'm actually going to use a book that will cover both prompts, and I already had it on my list. I had it as optional, but now I'm requiring it for myself. And that is Tristan Sterling Destroys the World. Really excited about finally being able to keep going in this series. And for that, there is I know there's royalty in this world, and it is definitely a retelling. The next prompt is find a map to the apple tree. And I realized I can use this book for every single prompt, including hard mode. Again, it was one of the optional ones that I had the first time I filmed this TBR. Now I'm making it mandatory for myself, and that is Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray. Obviously, find a map to the apple tree. You're gonna have a map as one of the prompts. There's a map. The second prompt is a book that you recently acquired. Definitely got this one recently. And then the last one is a book with red, orange, yellow, or brown on the cover, hard mode, 2 or more of those colors. So there are various shades of yellow, orange, and brown on this cover. So I'm counting it, and it's hard mode. The third step is gather companions. This is a book that I added to my TBR since the first time I filmed this, and that is Ace of Spades. I will take off the target sticker. I am using this to fulfill a prompt. It may fulfill one of the other prompts, but I don't know. So I'm not counting it for that one. I am, however, counting it for a new to me author and a debut author, which is hard mode for that prompt. The fourth step is quest for the apple tree. And for that, I'm using another one of my required reads for the month, Oathbringer. I'm going to try to read this in 2 days, but it fulfills 2 of the prompts plus the prompt with hard mode. The first of those is a book with magic, Stormlight. I'm counting that as magic and a magic system. And the other one is a book over 300 pages. Yeah. And hard mode is a book over 450 pages. I'm doubling that and then some with this book. For the last step, that is climb the apple tree. And I am using my last required read for that one, The Dark Talent. There could be a morally gray character in here, which is one of the prompts, a book featuring an unlikable or morally gray character, but I'm using this for a book featuring a conflict. There's definitely a conflict in it. It's in the name. Alcatraz versus the evil librarians. So, counting it for that one. So there you have my almost completely redone November TBR from the first time that I filmed it, a video you will not see now. I'm really excited now, and I wasn't really all that excited about the previous books, even though a lot of those are still the carryovers from my other TBR that I filmed and just switched up before I posted the video. Funny what framing does to things. I'm really excited about this and cannot wait to read all of these, plus all of the Goodreads Choice Awards books. Who knows if I'll actually get to that. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.